Live from LA. This is Mark Kyle. We out here.
We are out here, yo. We just did a pod with Pace and Friends earlier.
Yep.
Great time, having a great time. I wanted to change this time. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm having a great day. Well, I'm having an okay day. How's your day? How's your week, man? How's it going?
My week's been all right.
Yeah.
It was Giving Tuesday, and so that's a big it's a big time for nonprofits to raise money.
Right.
So we've been working on that. But also, you're kind of sitting in all nonprofits are trying to raise money, so it's weird at the same time. So there's a lot of clutter.
Yeah.
But you also feel like this deep desire to need to do something, but you're kind of running against the current.
Right.
We're still small, so.
Weren't you guys giving away hundreds of turkeys and gifts and stuff last week?
Yeah, we did 400 turkeys and then $240,000 worth of Amazon gifts.
Jeez, dude. How'd you guys get that?
Like household products and stuff. So we partner with the Watts Empowerment Center.
Yeah.
Red Eye, and this guy, Justin Mayo. He is definitely the orchestrator of all of that. Mm-hmm. So he's the plug that allows a lot of these celebrities to come into the center.
Right.
He's been in it for 15 years, and he just is a really unique guy that just has figured out how to bring in huge donors when it comes to those types of products. So it's pretty cool.
That's wild.
So we're more just of a supportive highlight in a lot of those times.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. I wasn't able to be there, but that's a really amazing. You guys had a bunch of so much stuff. You guys haven't had extra stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, dude. We had so much extra stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's always good. People are out here really giving. You know what I mean? And I think
there's people giving for sure.
That's always a good thing. You know what I mean? And there's always people, giving, and there's always people, talking shit. And I feel like, that's what I'm here to do. That's what you're.
Yeah, we got to talk a little bit of, that shit today. Which is always fun.
A little bit of shit, because, you got to take the good with the bad a little bit.
Yeah.
Or whatever, however you want to call it. And, it's been a funky few weeks. You know what I mean? I feel like I always feel like it's been a while since I talked to you on the pod for some reason for the past few weeks. But yeah, it's been weird. You know what I mean? Yeah, we talked on the last. Yeah, that's right. But I'm just confused. It really is what it comes down to. Is I'm trying to figure out the plan of life here. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got a plan and then you get punched in the face. You know what I mean? And and sometimes you get punched multiple. Sometimes you get kicked. Sometimes you get hit in the knee in the kidney, whatever. And then you got. I'm like the guy who keeps fighting. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's a little weird. You know what I mean?
That's LA, larger cities, I think, are more conducive to getting punched in the face a little bit. It feels like it's just part of the culture around here.
A part of the culture getting punched in the face. You know what I mean? Living the city life. You know what I mean? Living in the city is pretty fun. I kind of half live in the city, and I'm here in the city big time. You know what I mean?
Right.
LA's getting a little weird. You know what I mean? I've been hearing some reports, and I love this city, but I've been hearing some reports of robberies, thefts. Some people getting got out here. Someone was touching my boy's bike the other day.
Yeah, well, I mean, we shoot this podcast in Venice.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that we had one of our neighbors just recently put up a webcam.
Yeah.
A ring, not a webcam.
Ring camera.
A ring light. Yeah. Not a ring. Well, no, a ring camera.
Ring camera, yeah.
A doorbell.
Yeah.
And so it just tracks whenever motion's happening. And what was crazy about it was seeing just how many people walk through the little courtyard out here and just kind of observe it late at night. So for between 2:30 and 6 a.m., there will be 4 people who just wander through the courtyard.
It's insane.
One of the guys came up with a helmet on a bird and just starts kind of working on this dude's bike who lives here.
What the fuck?
Trying to take off the seat, trying to kind of get underneath it, he was doing maintenance on it, and he had a go bag with all of the mechanic stuff in it.
Yeah.
So he's just prepared, and he's sitting on it. He's kind of rattling it, just seeing how it would drive. I don't know. It was weird,
dude. What the fuck is up with First of all, this I assume this is some crackhead or whatever, right?
You would assume so. That guy didn't seem that crackheady though.
Okay.
Yeah,
but there's something
because he zoomed in on a bird scooter.
Right.
So crackheads usually aren't. they'll be pushing on a bird scooter, but this guy, you know.
But he came with tools, so it's not like he
came
came
with
back
tools
from the club or whatever.
No, he seemed pretty coherent.
Okay, so that's what's interesting, because like mental health is weird, because like you don't necessarily have to look like a cokehead, but you can kind of be one. You know what I mean?
Well, you
like,
can be on the way to being a full-fledged crackhead.
Right.
But, you know, crackheads have levels.
Yeah, there's levels to crackheads. Yeah, because like, you know, you show up to an apartment complex and you start touching someone else's stuff inside of a complex, like you don't fear for your life of someone popping out of a corner and just like, hey, what are you doing in my complex shooting it? Yeah, I guess if you don't have that level of awareness, then like something a little bit of cracky, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's on the road to being a great crackhead.
Yeah.
But he wasn't even kind of flighty where he's looking around and checking that everybody could potentially. We have a very well lit courtyard.
Yeah.
And he just felt pretty comfortable of just like, hey, I'm just kind of going about this.
Yeah.
As if I do think one thing that's weird about our building is I think in LA you can probably do a lot of movement like that and expect that nobody knows anybody.
Right.
But here everybody knows everybody.
Right.
So he got used to the assumption of I can do whatever I want. Nobody knows anybody.
Nobody knows anybody. That's what's really
community is rare, and there's like a community here.
That's actually very, very true. Community is rare in LA, for local people for some reason. So yeah, you can definitely be like, oh, I thought that was somebody else. I thought that was somebody you knew or whatever. Totally be mistaken.
Right. So if you're wearing the bike helmet, you would just be like, oh, I don't know my neighbor. That must be him.
Yeah, it must be a guy with
or
a bike.
One of his friends or blah blah blah.
Especially with tools or whatever.
But here it's like, I know that's not one of your friends. That's definitely not you. What are you doing?
Yeah. See, crackhead's been on the rise lately. They've been on the rise for quite some time. Definitely back in the 90s and stuff like that. Did I ever tell you I got in trouble one time for saying, this is whacked on crack? I got in so much trouble in 4th grade for saying, this is whacked on crack.
School?
In school. My teacher thought I said, literally wrote on a report to my principal and my mom. I said, this is whacked on crack. She wrote on the report, I something about like, I hate this class and I hate my teacher, like you or something along those lines. I'm like, where did you even fucking hear? Like, not even minimally close. But I hate fuck you, Miss Wilson.
Yeah, are you sure you didn't say that though?
No, I
hate this class and I hate this teacher, because I could see you saying it's whacked on crack, and she said what? And you like, I hate this class and I hate this.
Well, first of all, that was 100% true, but
that's what you meant. But you're like so mad that she knew exactly what you meant.
Right, but because I hate her and she hated me too. So like, and she was a bitch. And so like, that was true, but I didn't fucking say that. So like, I 100% hate getting falsely accused of anything. And so the fact that a teacher did that to like a fucking 7-year-old kid, I was very angry. But anyway, my relationship with like, crack and stuff, that's my relationship with like getting in trouble. And then now, we got these crackheads out here, breaking in my fucking car. You know what I mean? And like, this happened on Sunday, and I'm not too happy about this. But I was minding my own business, getting some tacos. Now, I don't know what it is about me getting Mexican food late at night, but there's always somehow some type of fucking issue. By the way, so one time I got in a full-blown car accident. One time I completely lost my debit card. I didn't even know I was getting tacos. And then this time, someone breaks into my car. Now, I'm sorry. I love Mexican food so much, and I definitely want to go back, but now I'm a little fucking scared that some issue is going to come and play.
Yeah, there's like a hex on you.
Yeah.
So it's your favorite food, and then whenever you get it, and it's also, I think it's also one of those foods that's like a little bit of like a coping mechanism for you.
Sure.
So you kind of do it in your down.
When
you're feeling down.
Downtime, yeah.
And so you get like, life doubles down on you.
Right.
During Mexican food.
Like, all I want is a burrito, and then like fucking some problem happens. And I'm eating the burrito because of a problem. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? And then like, and so, so yeah, so I'm going to Sonora Town Tacos because I love tacos, right? And I just we just left the auto show, minding my own business, and then like I literally go like waiting in line or whatever, and only one person ahead of me. It's not like it's a long line, right? And then I get carne asada taco, chicken taco, whatever, all good. I'm thinking it's a busy place. It didn't take that long, maybe 3-4 minutes.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm gonna go, go back to my car and get my tacos and leave because I'm gonna, go eat somewhere else. I don't want to eat here because I'm like, I literally thought to myself, I didn't really like, where I park is a little dark over there, a
little sketch.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm gonna get good and go, Literally, as I'm like looking into my bag, I'm like, salsa, red salsa, napkins, fork, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I go, alarm goes off, right? So I'm like, okay, it was a set, gotta check his mind. I'm already heading to my car anyway. So I started walking a little faster. Looking around the corner, it's my car. My car beeping. Fucking everything. I'm like, what the fuck? So I start, I have to cross the street. There's a car passed by. I start running across the street. And I see this fucking guy, fucking crackhead. And he looks at me from over my car. And he goes, and I go, hey. And he goes, and then hides under my car. He hides his head, under. And I go, so I'm literally running across the street in the middle of the street. I go, what? Hey! And I'm like, hey! And I'm like, yo! So I started going towards him, and then I went towards the car. So I'm getting ready to get into my car and leave because my alarm's going off, and some fucking crackhead is sitting next to my car. And I'm just like, and then as I walk to the driver's side door, the guy goes, hey, I think somebody broke into your car. I go, what? And I look on the side. He goes, my fucking window's bashed in. And he goes, I think someone's broke into your car. And he looking into my car like this. And he goes, I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? And he goes, yeah, man, I saw someone broke into your car. I was thinking about getting some, but I didn't want to. I didn't do it. Something like I was thinking about, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm literally on the phone, calling the cops, and this dude is walking in circles, looking into my car.
He's just still in it,
still looking like this.
That's so annoying.
Like this, and I'm on the phone, wait, you're fucking trying to call the cops, and this guy's standing right here. It's he makes a circle and started looking back in it. I'm like, dude. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from here, dude. What? Yeah. And he goes, all right. So my window's bashed in. He fucking leaves. And as I'm on the phone with the cops, I'm just like, did that motherfucker just break into my fucking car? What the fuck? Because I didn't see, anyone running. I didn't see anything. It happened maybe 3 beeps in. I saw my car. 3. What? No. That only motherfucker was right next to it. So that motherfucker, and I'm like, he just goes, huh. So I leave, and all he took was this fucking placard for so I can park anywhere in LA. That's all he took. And I had an iPhone in the middle, the center console. I had a speaker in the back. Only a crackhead would do that.
Right.
Because if you're a normal person, you'd be like, okay, I'm looking for shit. I check sections, I check this, I check that. If you have a normal stuff, that is that motherfucker, and goes, I think someone broke into your car. So I'm trying to figure out this motherfucker had the wherewithal to not only break into my car and do it sneakily and hide, but when I show up, he goes, lies to me, and then tells and convinces me that it wasn't him, and convinces me that I wasn't him. I tell him to fuck off, and I realize it was that motherfucker. So I'm like, dude, I am 100% for abolish all crackheads. Send them all to fucking Palmdale. I don't give a shit anymore.
It's so difficult because there is this type of dude, which ends up mostly being a crackhead.
Yep.
And they're so predatory on people.
Yeah.
And they always are just observing any girl at all times.
Yeah.
They just keep their eyes on the situation.
Yeah.
And then they just linger in the dark.
Yeah.
And they just kind of slink around. They check door handles.
Yep.
They check car doors.
Yeah.
And they're looking in every single car. And in LA, it has really boomed.
Yeah.
It's gotten out of control.
Out of control, dude.
So any person that lives in LA has, at least our friends, have a huge uptick.
Yeah.
In that being frequent in their daily life now.
People are getting followed. People are getting car broken into. You got people checking bikes and shit. All this crazy shit, dude. And I'm like, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, what's interesting about it is, they're not necessarily dangerous people because I don't fear for my life. Maybe that's because I'm a dude because I understand why females would fear a little bit more for their security in that situation. Yep. But dude, it's just the abundance of it.
Yeah.
And it's all races, all sizes.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
It's across the board. You can only tell by the crackheadness.
Yeah. So you can only tell by the crackheadness. There's a lot of issues with policing has gone down. Crime has gone up. You know what I mean? And like, you know, people getting out, just go. Even if that guy would have got arrested, he would have been in jail for like 3 seconds and got out.
Right.
So it's like, or even if I would have fought that guy, fucking charged that guy with weapons, it's like it almost wouldn't even been worth it at all.
Well,
not even a little
it's
bit.
such petty crime stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's not that big of a deal.
No.
But the abundance
Right.
that's happening now.
Right.
That's where it actually collectively is becoming way more than a nuisance.
Well,
it's becoming a disaster.
No, big problem. So yeah, I think it's either two things, right? You know, we have to police more, or you know, everyone's gonna have to go get a strap. You know what I mean? Because I think it is what it is. Look, listen, I actually don't think there's enough police to govern LA. Simple as that.
Well, and they could never like be there to do the job when you needed them to do it anyway.
No.
That's the weird part of it.
Right.
Because the crackheads, they skirt around and they're off.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah. So it's like even if I called the cops and they showed up 30 minutes later. Like it's like, and that's fine. It is what it is. I get it. It's busy. They got busier shit to take care of. But God forbid I had a bigger issue, and then it's like, you know,
Right.
So my point is, what I'm trying to say is, you know, cops can't save you even if it's 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later. You know, you got to save yourself a little bit. And I'm sorry to say that, but you know, I think we got to release the guns. Like everyone gets to get a gat. You know what I mean? Because listen, it's simple. Like I have, like, you know, my little petty weapons in my car, but I think I'm gonna have to strap it on me now and forever. Because listen, if somebody comes and get my shit again, you know, they're gonna get bop. You know what I mean? Somehow, some way. And I don't feel like. Listen, if I'm at home or whatever and I'm sleeping, I don't feel like using my muscles. I'm tired. They're just gonna have to pull. They're gonna have to get shot. You know what I mean? I have to fucking fight and struggle. Then I have to deal with like a sore arm the next day. No, I'm just gonna shoot them. You know what I mean? Don't enter my premises when I'm sleeping. I'm tired.
I do think that there's been such an empathy level in LA for a extended period of time.
Too long.
That has allowed an individual to wildly take advantage of the situation.
Right.
And I get it that there's obviously a bunch of homeless people that aren't taking advantage of the situation. Mm-hmm. They're getting taken advantage of. They're getting screwed over by these people too.
Oh, for sure.
But there's this layer that ruins it for everybody.
Everyone.
Because it kind of makes you unempathetic for a second.
Oh yeah, I'm empathetic. I don't give a fuck anymore.
It sucks so much. Where it like pulls at you and you're like, but dude, there's these asshole guys that aren't working.
No.
They don't give a shit about society. They don't care about people's safety. They only care about getting their little fucking grubby fingers on somebody else's bullshit.
Yeah, they don't have
It's not even mostly stuff of value.
No.
It's like they bashed in your car and took nothing.
Like,
why?
Dude, it costs more for me to fix the fucking window, get it retented than the fucking shit that he took.
And anything they took. Yeah.
I'm like, it's crazy. It makes no fucking sense.
It
costs more to me than it has to get his fucking stupid crack.
And it's like, if you're gonna do it, steal everything.
Yeah.
Like, tear the car.
Be successful. You're not even successful at it.
Let insurance take hold of it.
Yeah.
But they do such a petty one. It's like the deposit on the thing, it doesn't even work.
Dude, literally. I was like, I was looking at my insurance policy. I was like, dude, holy fuck, I have a $500 deductible. This is not even fucking worth it. This is not even worth it. For anything that's like comprehensive insurance, like, because like if anyone steals if it's the iPhone, it would have been worth it. If they took all this shit, it would have been worth it. But like literally the fucking what do you call it, the like the down payment or deposit, whatever it's called, the other word,
copay thing,
whatever it is, that is more than the fucking shit that he took and the window. And I'm like, oh my god! So all this had to come out of pocket because this fucking doofus decided to take it for $10 just to go get a crack. That motherfucker does not have a car. He would just want to sell it so he can get his crack.
They're smoking some crack on you tonight, Cam.
You know?
And probably not even that much crack.
It's not even good crack, dude. It's not even good crack. Just get the real stuff. Just go get coke and just have a great time tonight. But he won't even do that. He just get crack.
Yeah.
And probably lose the thing on the way to when he ran away. So
honestly, probably in like the blunder of his night, I bet it never got.
I probably lost it, and I'm like, oh my lord! Abolish all crackheads. When I become mayor, listen. When I become mayor of LA or district attorney, wherever the fuck, kick them all out. Send them to Palmdale. Send them to Lancaster. I don't give a shit. There's a bunch of land there. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, yo, like there's enough space for everyone to have a tent. It is what it is. Go. Get the fuck out. Now, we like the regular homeless people. They're very fun. We have enough space for them. We can house them. We got showers. We got places. We got hotels.
And there is a place for this where, like, dude, there's this particular type of dude, a crackhead.
Yeah.
And really the biggest issue is they are wildly aggressive towards women.
Yeah, that's bad.
Like, so inappropriately.
It's disgusting, yo.
Like, looking for their angle.
Yeah.
To, like, get a body, kind of.
Or steal.
It just feels really rapey.
Yeah, yeah.
Where they're just, like, at any time,
right.
They're just angling on anything.
Anything.
Dropped credit card, dropped keys.
Anything.
Like, anything.
Anything. And so, like.
And so, for a girl, it's like, if they drop anything, they're looking for it.
Yeah, yeah. And, like, listen. You know, I'm not, ignorant to the fact that I'm a small guy. It is what it is. And listen, no one's getting an angle on your boy. You know what I mean? I get the angle on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, not me. I'll get snipers if I have to. Sniper fucking rifles if I have to. Okay?
I don't want a pistol, though. I would want, like, an AR. Because a pistol is also, like, don't get me wrong. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
But if you walked out the house in, like, a robe with, like, a...
What do you... Give me my placard pack. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what are you doing?
Because that would scare a group.
Yeah.
A group of people with that would be like, oh, shit.
Yeah. A pistol is like, okay, you can kind of overtake them a little bit.
One to one.
Yeah. It takes time. Yeah. You can just fucking spray, and then, like, everyone gets a little scared.
I actually think a shotgun is a dope move.
Yeah, shot off the front.
Because, like, I think with a pistol, even if someone came, even though I'd be fearful if a pistol was in front of me, I'd be like, the likelihood of you hitting me is actually still low.
Yeah.
But if you're in a small room with a shotty,
and then even if, like, you hit the next guy, like, you see the next guy get, like, blown back like 5 feet, you'd be like, oh, shit, like, you know, yeah, and, like, listen,
and even me as the shooter would probably throw up.
Yeah,
you'd probably hit the dude from across.
That was gross. All that blood on my shoes. You know what I mean? So, like, listen. They made Grand Theft Auto 5 for a reason. You know what I mean? We're out here in Los Angeles, Los Santos, whatever you want to call it.
That's why they didn't change cities.
They did not change cities. Literally, LA is they got it right. They got it so right. And it's simply just gonna turn into Grand Theft Auto Online. It's what it's gonna turn to. And then, like, everyone's just like, there's enough rich people to buy the jets and shit. There's enough poor people to have, like, the petty weapons and guns. And then everyone's still in Bugattis and shit. It is what it is, dude. I think we're just going to have to start a war with this motherfucker. And I love LA so much that I'm not even going to leave. I don't care. I'm not Joe Rogan. I don't bounce. I fucking stay here and fight. Fuck you all. Let's go to war. I don't give a shit.
Well, what's going to suck is, like, the metaverse and then the vaccine. The vaccine probably will tranquilize people here.
Yeah.
And then people in the metaverse will be able to log into your body. And then go play Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
It's like, who's your avatar? Oh, this guy Cam.
Oh, King Cam _ 1. You know what I mean? Like, No. And just, like, and, like, I guess I get paid for it, right? Or something like that. Or, I don't know. But my point is, like,
would you donate yourself to the metaverse? Like, what would it cost for someone to play Grand Theft Auto 5
here
with your body?
Here? In LA?
In LA.
Oh, $5. Oh, son. Only that's all it costs. Because I will do it for free, you know?
No. They log into your body.
Yeah.
You don't have control of it.
Oh, I don't have control of my body? Okay.
No, like, so it's some kid in the Midwest logs into your vaccine.
Okay. Yeah.
And now he controls your body.
Yeah.
And he's you in the metaverse.
He better be a good player.
What would you rent yourself for?
Depends on...
Because you get killed, and he's just like, oh, I gotta go find a new avatar.
Oh, no. Yeah. That's true.
I was so excited about that Cam avatar.
Yeah. He better be good, and I better be expensive, man. Like, that's what it comes down to.
That'd be so scary if someone was running your body, and they're like, yeah, and it's like friends in the background, and you can tell the new kid's on the controller, and you're like, no.
I'll let my little brother play.
Yeah. This guy has good credit, and you're like, yo, this rental's gonna work out well. And then he's like, I'm gonna play.
Yeah. He's like, all right, little brother.
All right.
He's like, It's like, oh no. I think that's totally possible. I love how the log into the vaccine. That's hilarious. Because it's totally happening. You know what I mean? There's already chipped, whatever. And I just think that, like, listen, if the crime keeps going up, it's gonna turn into Grand Theft Auto Online. You know what I mean? Straight up. Because I'm already at the point where I'm turning myself into an avatar. Like, I'm turning myself into a shooter of all crackheads.
And your name's going to be Glockity Glock.
Glockity Glock 69. Son, because, you know, I have another name that I gave to my cousin. I'm going to pull it up right now. But my favorite name that I'm probably just going to have to call myself, because we save this username for this reason. Oh yeah. Young Taco Cap Lord Squad. Yeah, because
Young Taco Caplar.
Young Taco Cap Lord Squad. Cap Lord Squad. You know, I go by in short Cap Lord Squad.
The Cap Lord.
Yeah. So you know,
come get you got.
Come get got, because come fuck around with my fucking Prius again, and you're gonna get got. You fucking crackheads. Come get it.
Come get you got.
And you better hurry up and do it before it gets tinted again. Because if it gets tinted again and you break that shit again, I'm going to be 1,000 times more pissed. So hurry up and get it before it gets tinted again.
Oh, you haven't got it tinted yet.
Oh, no, yeah. Because that's why I was hanging on the side, because the tint. I'm like, why does it look like that?
Yeah, it just like folded
over.
It
was just like, because it was hanging onto So I'm like, Jesus. So anyway, so that was my weekend. I was trying to get tacos and got car broken into by a crackhead, and he totally convinced me that it wasn't him, which is amazing. Because I'm like, if he has the wherewithal to do that, why isn't he working on Wall Street? You know?
They're very bold liars. Dude, there was this guy out here who like rode his bike inside and just like parked it. Mm-hmm. No big deal, but also because there's so many people doing it and because there's a lot of girls that live in the building, there's an element of it being invasive.
Yeah, totally.
We've gotten to the point in our community where like, if you don't live here, you don't get to chill here. Right. There for a second we were like, okay, that guy's just there. Yeah. That's not allowed anymore. No. So I do think that's where culture sometimes forgets where it comes from. Yeah. Where it's like my kids will be like, well, just let him sit. No. He doesn't get to chill there.
Yeah.
Down the street, sure. Do your freaking thing. But not in front of our house, dude. That's why, like, gated communities and, like, all of these peaceful spaces that, like, other people don't understand why.
Yeah.
It's like you start, as you older you get and you think about having kids, like having a wife, I start to get what the suburbs are, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
You don't get to just chill. So anyways, he parks his bike. So I walk out. He moves his bike. He goes outside. So then I'm calling one of my neighbors who saw him on the camera. I'm like, hey, like, yeah, didn't see the guy, but he must have just moved. And he's like, yeah, he went out the door beside you. So then some other people are coming home from work. So we're just like chatting. And then one of the girls is coming in through that door. And I even walked out there. I looked for him for a while. He was gone. We're chatting, and one of the girls is like, hey, is there any way that, like, you could, like, move around for then I can get into my door? He was sitting outside the door listening to us chat about him.
No.
And then one of the girls coming in for work had to, like, go around him.
No. Dude, get the fuck out of here. And this is, like, an enclosed, like, apartment complex. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
So it's like, dude, what are you doing parking, having someone come down, you leaving, and then not even 10 minutes later, coming back and just like sitting there and have a neighbor also like have to ask you, can you please move out of the doorway?
Yeah, my doorway. Yeah. No. Like,
and then everyone goes like, well, you don't know his intent.
No, fuck his intent. Fuck
if
you.
You're chilling and hanging out and listening to conversations.
That he doesn't live here or not from here. I
don't care about your intent.
I don't give a shit. What even can you even intent? Like, no, get the fuck out of here, dude.
He was like biking down the alleyway. So then he leaves, right?
Yeah.
And then I kind of walk out, and he just kind of goes around the corner, and then he starts coming back towards me. And I'm like, hey, bro, no more of this.
Yeah.
Like, this is not your place.
Yeah.
You don't need to be here ever again.
Yeah.
Just never come back.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you again. Cool?
Yeah.
And I'm talking to him while he's riding his bike. And then he starts to like try to like park his bike by the curly-headed overlord's car. And I'm like, no, bro, like you, buddy, you are not staying here.
Yeah.
You're just like fuck, kind of like deliriously just, dude.
God, dude, and like you know, and like, listen, you know, if you get a report saying like I stabbed someone, you know what I mean? Because like let this video be a record. I don't care. You know what I mean?
didn't really think about everything. So I literally saw your face on TMZ in my head.
You saw, you know, and because I will go all out to protect myself, to protect somebody else, like my loved one, my homie, my parents. Oh, son, I will murder. You know what I mean? Like I'll maybe like just a petty theft or maybe some misdemeanors, a little bit of felony for myself. Yeah. But like for like my homies or my man, like I'm sorry, but like we're doing death sentences for this shit. Okay.
one of the videos that one of the kids posted, one of our neighbors who's like talking to one of the guys. The guy's like, sorry. Don't worry. He's like, no, you need to stop saying sorry, or else I'm gonna have to apologize to your family.
Yeah.
So he's like, stop saying sorry, leave.
Get the fuck out, bro.
It's just like, no more sorries. You have to go.
Yeah. So I'm like, and like, and what it comes really down to is I'm making jokes and shit, but like, I'm literally saying I'm trying to protect myself for some bullshit. You know what I mean? For some stuff that should not be happening. Some people on drugs that should not be on drugs. Or should people on drugs that shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? And, like, it's not just me. Like, everyone has these problems in LA. Especially more, like I said, women. And God forbid, something goes, and that has been happening.
I do think that we are getting to a point in a place like Los Angeles that needs to try out, let a reckless, village happen. Like, carve off a piece of land.
Send it to fucking Lancaster.
That that's where you can go and do all the shit you want
over there.
Like it's available right there.
Yeah, like your little
But you
oasis.
can't do that here,
right?
Because I struggle with the idea of the encampments because I do think you should be able to take a nap on the street.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should be able to build this huge structure.
Yeah, complex.
Even though I do admire some of the structures.
And to be frank, it's mad engineering.
I'm this weird dude who's caught in the middle of this, but there has to be some element of okay, you obviously you don't want to go to a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
You might not be able to park on the beach all day the way that you were during COVID.
Yeah.
It's like a nice, huge 100-acre place where it's be wild. Dude.
Yeah. America, we got mad space. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're at like a space. There's a bunch of areas.
Well, think of it the city was able to buy enough land for the SoFi Stadium.
Yeah,
make it that big.
That's in the middle of
it. Huge.
That's in the middle of Inglewood. We're not even talking about right outside of past the mountains. You know what I mean? Right behind the mountains.
The valley, right?
That's what I'm saying. All those space. LA's really fucking big. I don't know if you noticed.
Why wouldn't one of these wildly progressive billionaires be like, hey, I have land for you.
Yeah.
Everyone show up.
Over there.
And it could be coastal, too. In Malibu.
I'm trying to figure out, they're like, oh, we should build homeless encampments in the middle of Venice Beach. That's a very expensive real estate. I'm not even talking about a sense of, where they should be. I'm like, you're kind of, that's an accounting problem. Why are you spending so much money on land? Put the, you know what I'm saying? Like buy cheaper land. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
It is weird that there is an element of an entitlement problem.
Yeah.
Where liberals can't recognize the fact that they will pay the highest prices in the world to live in Venice Beach.
Yeah. But
and then they're like, but this guy who's not paying should be able to pay here too. It's like, no, dude, everyone, you should be paid to play.
Yeah.
That's still capitalism working in full effect. It works out. You're not mitigating people's rights.
Right.
But if you aren't paying to be here, then you can't necessarily just take up all the space.
Yeah.
So they literally are so comfortable with well, let's build it a homeless encampment right in the heart of
Venice Beach,
the most expensive area you could live.
Yeah, and one of the most touristy places you can come to. And
it's what do we?
What? Because remember,
because there's so many other options.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like literally, if you okay, I buy this complex, 30 people can live here. Let's just say, but I pay 1.5 or $2 million to live here. But $2 million in Lancaster is a fucking 3 acres. That's what I'm saying. I'm just talking about an accounting perspective. You use more for less money.
Right. And then if I think and then the homeless encampment in Venice, you have to have a job.
Yeah, sure. Or at least applying a week, whatever.
I want to level up. I want to live Venice, dog. Bet. Cool. there's an application process, there's a work requirement process, and you have to stay on your shit.
Yeah,
and
like,
then if you fall off,
Lancaster, you know what I mean? Like, that's where you go. And when I like,
that's not crazy.
That's not crazy, dude. Like, because what I'm trying to figure out, like we got all these sidewalks and everything, and like all we're talking about is like a big ass park. That's all we're talking about. Like, what you need bathrooms, showers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the city's already paying for the tents. You already have it here. You're just in the middle of like Culver City.
And I think maybe we'd even have room on one of the beaches between Venice and Santa Monica.
Sure.
But like just carve off an area.
Sure.
Like, this is Wild Boy Land.
Yeah.
Do that.
Stay away from it.
And obviously some of the guys from Santa Monica would jump in there every once in a while.
It'll be fun because like they know, they're kind of like on the half cracky side too. You know what I mean? So they gotta, like, where are my homies at? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
you'd see some suits kind of like walking in and out.
Yeah, let's party. You know what I mean?
Like, have you been to one of the crackhead bars in Wild Boy Land?
You never had as much fun in your life. You know what I mean? And then 3 months later, you're with them, you're just living with them.
But then it gets gentrified.
Yeah, gentrified. There's a lot of people there, and like
then Wild Boy Land's gentrified, and then everything spreads out.
Yeah, then everyone spreads. Yeah, and then like we're in Santa Monica and West Hollywood too. He's like, oh god, here we go again. So it's like
Starbucks announces, hey, like we're gonna do a coffee shop in Wild Boy Land.
It's free coffee for fucking Wild Boy Land, whatever. So it's like it just gets crazy, you know what I mean? And I've always been a person like since I grew up, like I was always like give back to the homeless. And again, we're not talking about like normal homeless people that are just chilling. We're talking about the fucking weirdos, we can keep the homeless people because there's actually like it's probably
but not by not addressing the weirdos and blanket statementing homeless individuals as all being the same.
No, very wrong.
Really is honestly more detrimental to a lot of the females that are homeless.
Dude, yeah.
So like you have this population getting routed, being perpetrated and like have all this predatory behavior, and we're just washing the blanket statement and going, well, that's a homeless person. Sometimes he's gonna break in. Dude, not all homeless people are gonna be breaking in and doing like stealing everything that's ever available.
Right.
You can't leave anything outside.
Yeah.
It's taken in minutes out here.
Right.
So that's the element that you have to clean out in order to let like a single mom who's roughing it in order to like help her kids not be raped in the middle of the night.
Well, yeah, I mean, and there's plenty of situations like that. We the women's I believe what's it called women's center downtown women's center. You've been there, I've been there, and you hear their stories, and it's like, my God, like these women really truly need spaces for that, and so is men too. Let's be frank. There's dads, there's people out there, brothers, like they just really need like maybe a month or two to get back on their feet. We 100% need that here in like for especially a big city like this.
That's why we probably need like more homeless shelters. We probably need more of a comprehensive approach to be able to address the situation.
Right.
But part of that comprehensive approach is the assholes. You gotta get sent to Lancaster.
You know what I mean? Like, because like I swear, like, okay, fine.
And we're not saying jail.
No, we're not saying jail.
We're like saying petty theft, petty crime. You got caught on Instagram.
Sent to Lancaster. Because we're trying to say like no jail, have your own space, have your own bathrooms, have your own shower, but
have freedom.
Have freedom. In the desert, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't care if I can cancel this. This is real. Have your car broken into by a crackhead, and you will quickly be saying exactly what the fuck I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
You'll quickly be like, oh, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Fine. Let me put, the crackheads that are on Los Angeles and 8th and 5th or whatever. Let me send them to Brentwood.
And I don't think if you don't live in like Venice, downtown, and parts of Hollywood,
Koreatown,
you don't get a say.
No.
I don't want people
Echo
from
Park.
Woodland Hills being able to decide what happens in Venice.
No. Dude.
They don't get it. If you live in Minnesota, sorry, you're out.
You don't get it. Dude, you will quickly find out. You give me one of those fucking big ass school buses or RVs, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Let me drop them off of Pacific Palisades, and you will quickly find out. You would be like, oh, what did Cameron say about that Lancaster thing? Like he's like,
I wonder if he has blueprints done by now.
Yeah, like how? Where's the land act? How can we fund this project? Like because it will be quickly.
How can we expedite? the project.
Immediately.
Where are the bulldozers? Why are we not pushing dirt?
This shit's gonna be like overnight, like UPS, son. This shit's gonna be like, yo, like, they were gonna be there so quick. You know what I mean?
And San Francisco will quietly call in.
Oh.
They'll be like,
So we need
I
help.
know this is like inappropriate to ask, but you guys got any more room at Lancaster?
Yeah.
I'm a progressive. I love the house list.
Yeah.
But like,
Listen,
how many spaces you gotta build by 10 p.m.?
We don't have any more spaces in Alameda. Holy fuck, dude. Yo, Lancaster, hurry the fuck. Yo, like, we live in such a big area. Like, we have so much desert, so much open space. You know what I mean? Like, don't send them to the parks because people like to hike there. You know what I mean? Like, but send them to the desert. Send them to the Lancaster desert. You know? Because I'm just sick of this shit, dude. I'm so sick of this shit. And, like I'm 2 seconds away from getting, like, really robbed out here. You know what I mean? Like, and you think I'm mad now. You think I'm mad now. Wait till I get robbed or something at gunpoint or some bullshit or someone happens to really close to me. Oh, you think I'm mad now? I am not mad. Like this is what my dad always say. At this level of frustration,
Like
I am not mad.
He's at a 10.
Yeah, I am not mad right now.
This is me being disappointed.
Yeah.
This is a level 10 disappointed.
Yeah, but do it again, and I will get mad. That's what this is, my dad. I'm sorry, future children, if I do this to you. But for real, okay? Because you know, I'm already at the point where I'm like, I'm gonna call the boys of Smith & Wesson. You know what I mean? And they're like, and like, what do you got for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, you got any Cyber Monday deals still around?
Yo, yeah, Black Friday is going down, son. So, I just want to let PSA. You know what I'm saying? PSA out here to all the crackheads out here. Venice, downtown, Koreatown, Echo Park, South LA, crackheads. Don't touch other people's shit. You know what I mean? Because I think it's gonna be soon to find out.
Because Cam, you're gonna be like work for hire.
No, because they're gonna start calling me like I'm the fucking bounty hunter now. The crackhead bounty hunter. Because the cops aren't doing it, so unfortunately people have to escalate the problem to guns.
Well, there was one of my buddies who was talking about developing an app for like Uber.
Sorry.
That you could call, but it's actually like a service that's armed.
Yeah.
And they come deal with the situation.
I heard about that.
And we oddly are like in that kind of place where like there is some nights where it'd be nice to be like picked up by like an armed ex-Marine.
Yeah, I mean,
or if he just jumps out of the car and be like, "Hey, what's good? Like, what are we dealing with?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like
or like, and then also this could also give space for like ex gang members.
Sure,
like, dude, I would love to have an armed ex gang member.
Yeah.
As what you call the thing called uncle.
Yeah, could you, hey, Elofka has to walk a mile to something. Can you look out for her? Yeah, got it. And it's like Uber. You have his fucking ID and all this shit, and it's like, yeah, I got it.
And you're like, dude, okay, perfect. Previously incarcerated.
Yeah.
All this. You're like, this dude's got a rap sheet.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
I'll tip well.
Tip well, and more jobs in the economy, more people getting paid, and more people get paid, less crime, yo. Less crime when more people get paid. What's up, curly-headed overlord? How you doing? We're just talking about you. Yeah. We're talking about someone shooting some motherfucker on your behalf. Yeah. Sorry. We're becoming billionaires over here. We're developing an app or helping develop an app. Because sometimes shit happens and sometimes people gotta get got. You know what I mean? So that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else are we talking about? Yeah. Actually, I always wanted to ask before we move on. How many of your friends are coming out with us tonight?
Krista is coming with us.
Krista. Who's Krista?
Am I driving?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's Krista?
Krista, she came up with us and she was like, we
Yeah, I can cut it.
Yeah, we cut it. Yeah.
You cut it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like,
She likes collab.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure who Krista is. I get it, but it was.
Jasmine's friend, and she's fucking
Oh, the girl with white hair.
blonde hair.
Oh, that hot chick. Yeah, Krista.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like kind of tallish. She looks like she'd be in like some type of like badass spy movie.
Style.
Yeah. I
Very
got it.
great style.
Got it. I think she's hot too. I get it.
So it's her for sure, and then maybe one of her friends.
Okay.
Cool.
So we got a little crew.
We dig it.
That's fun.
And then do you all want to go to Jasmine's birthday next Tuesday? She invited you both.
Was Jasmine's birthday last time? Oh, that was your birthday. Just kidding.
She's going out to dinner in Manhattan Beach.
Next
Okay.
Tuesday. We'll see. I mean, I'm open to it.
And Friday we get to go behind the scenes of Jam in the van.
Yep.
So that'd be sick.
This Friday.
Yeah, do you have something Friday?
What time Friday?
Nighttime.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a pregame kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a girls' night?
Queen's Club.
Oh, no. This is way later than Queen's Club.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, this is like, we could get there at 11.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
So we're back.
We're back.
Dude, this Jim Cramer thing is funny to me.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
Because I'm a big Jim Cramer guy.
Word.
Honestly, Jim Cramer got me into
Like finance.
got me into wanting to trade stocks. Got me into the interest of like the value of money and
Word,
how
word.
investing in things that are around you
Mm-hmm.
can create you value.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought that's been so cool. Where he kind of taught me like if all your friends are talking about MacBooks,
Mm-hmm.
invest in Apple, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like get ready for it, especially if your little sister is talking about an app.
Right.
Invest in that app, and then explaining how to diversify things, not getting too diversified, but having that kind of nice little catalog.
Yeah.
But now he's sitting there, and he's one of those guys that only cares about money.
Mm-hmm.
So on his Mad Money show, he's chatting about how he wants to militarize the vaccine rollout and saying we should absolutely force the vaccine down people's throats.
Yeah.
Or potentially in their butt through the new pill.
Yep.
He didn't say any of those things, but he was talking about forcing it.
Yeah.
It's saying like we should like militarize it.
Mm-hmm.
That just is where are we going with this? It's like the ball keeps on getting pushed further and further. We have Omicron.
Yeah.
that it feels like a neutron.
Yep.
A new transformer is out.
Yep.
And it's getting sold as if it's like the iPhone 13.
Yep.
It's the newest, new Gucci. You're not going to be able to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly aren't going to be able to live without it. It's coming for you. It's like the blockbuster hit of Christmas.
Right. What happened to Lambda, by the way?
It didn't work.
Interesting.
It had glitches.
It
had glitches.
Glitches, yeah.
Because there was Delta Plus.
Yeah.
Delta Plus kind of fell.
Yep.
And then Lambda was supposed to be a beast.
It's supposed to be the new Marion. Yeah.
And it just didn't. I think it just had glitches because Fauci hadn't tweaked it quite.
Yeah. He didn't get that part of the gain of function
But
right.
Omicron
Yeah.
is supposed to
Supposed to
be
be pretty lit.
Gucci.
Yeah. Yo,
No deaths yet.
No sicknesses.
There's
no
no
hospitalizations.
ICUs.
Nope.
But don't get it wrong. Early stats don't matter. It's like LeBron James is like in the early part of the first quarter, and he's missed all of his shots.
Yeah.
But they're like, dude, but is LeBron?
Is LeBron off forever? Yeah.
No,
yeah.
he's coming.
He's coming back. Yeah. The new variant. A Marion variant, whatever. It's so crazy because it's big, it's popular, it's out, it's the new hottest girl in town. And, they're talking about it, it's going to be crazy, I guess. But I haven't heard any statistics on anybody dying, anybody in ICUs or whatever. But it's like big, fearful, be scared, right? Whatever.
The head of the health administration for South Africa.
Yeah.
She comes out and says, just I think yesterday, and said, let's be cautious with the level of the way that we're not scared of Omicron, because she's like, we do have to realize that the only people that have really gotten it through the first outbreak was college students. And she's like, and as we know, college students aren't affected by COVID. So she's like, hesitate. And so I actually think that there's value in that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of like a double negative.
Yeah.
Because we're at the same time we're saying get everybody vaccinated, and then she's the head of health department of South Africa is like, we don't have good stats on the new COVID, because it's only in a population base that's unaffected.
Yeah. It already ran through them. It's already moved on. So,
I think that Omicron can be a blockbuster hit. I think it's got bodies in it.
Anything got bodies? Yeah.
We should. Do you think there's over unders yet? I mean, if we're gonna live with this forever, I don't want to.
We might as well bet on it, dude. We might as well bet
on death. I'll bet on like the amount of rates that it gets.
Yeah, like how many get gots is gonna get got. You know what I mean?
No, not gots. Just who gets it.
Yeah. Okay, got
Because
it.
gots are. I can't bet on.
Yeah,
that
you can't bet
yet.
on gots.
I'm
yeah.
not. It's not that dark yet. I'm not saying that I won't exchange.
Just gets
a little bit in 6 months.
Yeah.
If it gets dark enough.
Yeah.
We'll start.
Just a little more gets. Yeah.
Over under on Omicron.
Yeah, because it's already in the U.S. by the way. It's in California. I always find that really interesting because like when something's overseas and then we go like it's found in California and I'm like, did you check the fucking flight records? Like it's am I missing something? Did someone swim here? Because like I could have swore on my life that like especially in L.A. or San Francisco, they're triple checking anyone who comes out of the country, especially right now. So it's like,
well, there's a new health order that's going to be in place that if you're flying in from outside the country, even if you test negative before you get on your flight.
Yeah.
You also have to test negative 5 days after your flight.
Okay.
So even negative tested individuals still have to quarantine. So there's just like kind of like where it's ramping up.
Yeah.
Over Omicron that currently has zero
effect. Yeah. Oh,
zero body.
Let's get back to Jim Cramer for a second.
Yeah.
So Jim Cramer. So. It's really interesting because like he's not the only one. He's like one of the guys that like you're also just pushing regardless of how regardless of
yeah, but he feels like a fun cartoon character that you used to love.
Yeah.
It literally feels like Mickey Mouse telling you something that's outside of what you believe, and you're like, oh, it kind of pinches a little bit.
Yeah,
dude, that was one of my favorite characters.
Right. Yeah, and so like he's it's interesting because like he's just one of the voices, and that's obviously it's gonna spread from him for sure. Like a virus. But it start, in Austria, there's a huge thing about like what he's basically just said. He basically said what Austria is doing. Like, militarize the vaccine.
Australia or
Austria, excuse me. Oh, I mean, Australia's pretty crazy too.
I was thinking Australia
is actually pretty
like it actually is like
nuts.
going 100 on it right
now.
now.
No, I think they're going like 110, but like Austria
is going 100.
They're going 100. They're literally military. Like everyone who doesn't have the vaccine has to stay home. They have to show authorization if they have to go to the store. Everyone who's vaccinated is free to go. Do whatever. But everyone who's not vaccinated, you are the problem. Now, you got countries like Gibraltar who literally, I don't get how this is not in the mainstream, but of course it is. Of course it is in the mainstream news. Because they have 100% of their population vaccinated, even visitors included. And they literally are still having COVID outbreaks.
That's the country that had 140%.
143%. And they're still having COVID outbreaks. They're having a new outbreak now. And everyone is vaccinated. So like, and they have the Pfizer vaccine. So you can't even bullshit about the
Johnson &
Johnson, this, that, whatever. This is the prime example of everyone being vaccinated and there's still being outbreaks. But yeah, we are still like 1,000% fearful of what it is. Now I kind of understand the new variant because we don't know, like whatever.
Of course, you have no idea.
Yeah, I get that part.
That's why it's a difficult bet.
I get that part, but like even regardless, you just like to militarize, to everyone, you must get the vaccination regardless of what. Even though the truth is out, it's still being spread. People are still getting it. Some people unfortunately are still going out for it. And
yeah,
I get it. This is helping a lot. It definitely is helping. It's definitely a good treatment.
Of course,
but
right.
like regardless of the nature, like you can't sue Pfizer if God forbid anything happens to you, but yet this is being mandated.
Well, that's what is. I'm just. It keeps on being what's next.
Yeah.
And if you would have asked me what's next 2 years ago, the same person that I would have created the theory that you would have to get vaccinated to go into a restaurant, they would be screaming at you saying you are a conspiracy theorist, you are a wacko, you're a QAnon.
Yeah.
Every single what next that's been presented has continued.
Yeah.
And then that next what next is like, yeah, but you get vaccinated, you're going to get a booster.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're effing crazy.
You're crazy.
Stop thinking that wildness. You're going to have to get vaccinated to go to school, even if you're a 5-year-old.
Yep. You're crazy.
Screaming. You're crazy. There's no possible way it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
So when this next new thing comes from a voice like Jim Cramer, who's just a fun-loving, nice, puppeteering, like finance guy, it actually becomes scary because every single what next has happened.
Yeah, I was just gonna repeat it. Yeah.
So it's like, dude, if the what next is militarization and like and it's not going to happen everywhere, but like, let's say the National Guard militarizes it as a mandate in New York City, which seems to be kind of like the front runner.
Yeah,
because they've already declared a state of emergency over Omicron before it's ever registered a death. It starts on December 3rd. We're in December 1st right now, so hitting Friday, you're gonna have a state of emergency over something that has not recorded a body yet. That's like. It's going to be so interesting because we live in the city that it will probably, I don't know how they would militarize it though. Because the military guys don't even want it.
No, they don't want it. And the people, and everyone has a difference of opinion. This is not one opinion, And what's interesting is like, you're so right. Like every time what's next happened, it's happened 100%. Because they swore the mandate's never going to happen. It is 100% here. And they act like they give you a choice when it pretty much isn't one.
Well, it all started. I remember being in a bar, with the crazy-headed, curly-headed overlord. Crazy. I said the crazy-headed overlord, the curly-headed overlord, and we were sitting in this bar, and they were just shutting down bars because the potential of ICU beds being filled was getting out of control. And they said until we drop the ICU beds. We're going to have to shut everything down. So it was a stay in place. There was a bar owner that was crying. And she was like, dude, we're fucked. From at this point in time, the settle in place was for 2 weeks.
Right.
And she was literally getting drunk with us at the bar. She was like blacking out. Bawling her eyes out, being like, 2 weeks of shutdown will absolutely fuck us. And I'm laughing, my bad, empathizing with her, but helping her realize this isn't 2 weeks, just so you know. This is going to be longer. I was saying this is for sure a month. And everybody at the bar is like, yeah, but LJ, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's going to be just 2 weeks. We just got to get the hospital beds down. No big deal.
Right.
And I was just trying to be honest with the person that was bawling their eyes out, saying, stop preparing for 2 weeks, plan for a month.
Right.
Get your mind ready for that. Not to dig the knife in deeper, just to help you realize, dude, it's at least going to be a month. It's not going to be 2 weeks.
Right.
Fast forward 2 fucking years.
Yeah. Still here. I mean, they opened up. Shit.
But they shut down for
a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just gotten to that point where it's like, dude, I love it that this obviously brings our monetization down. It brings our views down. We're going to continue that fight. We appreciate people who are watching.
Yeah.
But that's why when a guy like Jim Cramer brings it up, you will hear people kind of lose their shit because it keeps on happening.
Yeah, it keeps on progressing, And no matter what, the stakes keep going up. Like I said, you must, fully vaccinated is definition is going to change to 3 jabs, to 4 jabs. And
now that's done though. Now it's obviously there's vaccine number 10. 10's for sure.
That's it. 100% it. But what's amazing to me is throughout this time, because literally the government kept changing their minds. Let's just not call it lying. Let's call it they changed their mind 1,050 times, right? Even though they have the facts, whatever. People lost trust in the CDC. People lost trust in the WHO. People lost trust in the media. People 100% lost trust in the government. We didn't trust the government in the first place. But what's interesting to me, and I noticed this during the Trump era for some reason, but it's even though the government keeps lying to you, you keep going, even though they say the next thing and you go oh yeah, what he said, what the government said. Everyone did this with Trump all the time. They would keep lying to you, and then they would try to say something else, and you'd be like, oh, what he said. Yeah, got it.
You would take the new press release.
Yeah,
you just eat it.
Yeah, and knowing that the guy is a liar, this, that, and the other, right? Joe, listen, the new government is lying to you. You know what I mean? Joe Biden's this guy's not even the fucking president. He's the puppet.
He's not even talking, dude.
He's not even. I don't know what this guy's on. This guy's the crackhead could have been a better president.
We used to scream at Trump to make a statement on anything, and funny enough, Trump not only made a statement about everything, he made thousands of tweets about everything.
Everything.
And there would still be people screaming, saying, why is Trump not talking about this? And he is like, dude, did you not read like 100 tweets?
Yeah.
And they're like, but they didn't like what he was saying.
Yeah.
It's not that he didn't get a statement. We got a statement about
everything,
little thing about Trump.
Yeah.
People just didn't like what he was saying or how he was saying or what
right.
he was potentially implying.
Right.
Biden, we don't hear shit.
But even if we do hear it, we know it's it's just a script that he's just reading. You know what I mean? It's not, regardless of what he says, it's nonsense.
Yeah, and not that I ever thought, like, I'm not a big person to, like, you have to tell me everything. Because I know that you're spitting bullshit regardless.
Yeah.
But, like, damn, dude, the people that were saying, like, always speak about this.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like, it just, like, it's just, I don't know. What's interesting is, what's so interesting is, like, you know, the fact that we have a lack of trust, but the fact that, like, you know, the majority, I guess, I assume, I don't think it's really the majority, but it's just, like, the majority of people who make their voices known, let's just say, or their loud voices are really, you know, just guiding this whole thing. I was looking on Twitter, and like what I found interesting is, like, there's no, like, Twitter's not for Democrats, Twitter's not for Republicans. Twitter is for whoever you follow and whatever your echo chamber is.
It's for the outcasts.
Yeah. So because I'm looking at these tweets, and I'm like, every time something like the Democratic news story press release comes out, it's always like the same, like 15, 20 fucking news heads, and they're like nobodies. They're just like, I did a spot on MSNBC once. I have a blogger that I've been doing for 5 years. But they somehow have like hundreds of thousands of followers, and they get a bunch of retweets for some reason, and they're absolutely no ones. But, like, you know, when something happens on a story, you know, people that agree with them will, you know, either agree or tell them off.
Yeah,
or
they just tout it and they say good job.
Yeah, and
in their own way.
Yeah, and literally the same thing on the Republican side. You know, they either get praise or everyone's saying fuck you, whatever. So it's like, it's not like
we fall in line.
Yeah,
just so easily.
Yeah, we fall in line. It's not like it's for one place or the other, but it's just like you, regardless of sides or whatever you're on, you kind of just listen to your echo chamber, and that's kind of it. But like not looking at these things from like a perspective of like, okay, what's actually happening? Because, dude, both sides are lying. They're full of shit, dude. You know what I mean? They're all taking their narrative and like spinning it to a whole thing.
And either side, we're better at looking at the hypocrisy of the other.
Yeah, right.
And recognizing.
Right.
And both sides are able to recognize such good amount of hypocrisy, horrible amount of hypocrisy on the other, that we have to listen to all of it and going, dude, there's hypocrisy on both sides of this line.
Yeah.
It's happening constantly. Right. And we have to be careful of it.
Yeah. What I found really interesting is about this whole like Dr. Fauci versus Ted Cruz versus Rand Paul bullshit. And like what I love about the theater of it is that, like, you know, Dr. Fauci's full of shit. He's been found full of shit. Rand Paul, he's been full of shit, and he has weird hair or whatever. And so is Ted Cruz. He's a liar. He's full of shit. But they're all full of shit, arguing with each other, and they're going, no, you're full of shit. No, you're full of shit. No, you're full of shit. And then you have to choose, like, people choose on what side to believe. So people choose to listen to Dr. Fauci. People choose to listen to Rand Paul or whatever. But, like, Rand Paul did find out something about Dr. Fauci that he lied about.
But like, you have so much on Rand Paul.
You have so much on Rand Paul.
That doesn't stick.
It doesn't stick. So it's like oh.
And then Fauci will hit direct with Rand Paul, and it's like, yeah, that's a real good knock.
It's a real thing. And then Ted Cruz will say something. Well, he actually might be right, but Ted Cruz is so full of shit that you don't even know who. So they're like both like. It's like literally watching crackheads fight each other. Like,
but that's why we have to see. We have to see the score as it is,
right?
And be honest with it. Where it's like, the faults that Ted Cruz has are so real.
Yeah.
The faults that Fauci has are real.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like, yeah, we have to, when it gets political, you just have to realize the shots that are fired and what matters most.
Right.
And it's crazy that Fauci's getting let go of so many shots.
And he keeps showing up on TV. Like, he's just like, oh, what I say is the
Well, there's just so many things that, like, he approved, potentially funded. His organization came up with this idea of gain of function.
Yeah.
Gain of function. Mm-hmm. And now he's like saying that, like, gain of function isn't actually a thing.
Yeah.
When their organization was the group that pioneered the term and the practice of it.
And they're like, yeah, we did, Dr. Fauci. Like, you led it.
And funded it.
And he goes, like, oh, and then now this week he's like, oh, you know what? I think it was the wet market again. I'm like,
and now we're like, there's so much evidence. And maybe it turns back into the wet market. And maybe we've all been bamboozled. But, like, there's more evidence than not to prove that the United States played a role in funding particular projects that fell specifically in line with exactly what could have potentially ended up being the coronavirus.
Right. And what's so,
as we know it.
as we know, and what's so amazing is just listen to Dr. Fauci when his interviews, when he's asked about like, okay, so even though you're a part of this whole gain of function thing, like, so do you have like access to the laboratory, the scientists that are actually in the lab and like doing this research or whatever? And you go, yeah, like they have a good reputation, and I was told that she said yeah, and then she told me that, but sometimes the Chinese people they kind of fall, but
So then I'll be like, oh, but Dr. Fauci, just tell me about the study.
yeah, and you're like, well, yeah, what they said is this, that, and then
Well,
like,
no,
what did you learn, motherfucker? Anyway, what they said, and da. But I heard
when he gets asked those questions, he's like, oh, well, they don't really communicate those things to me. But he'll be like, but I love he's like, oh, but they got the cutest firstborn.
Yeah, and that lady's really nice.
So how's the study going? Oh, well, we haven't been able to communicate on that level.
Yeah.
So on the function of your job,
Yeah.
you don't have any statistics.
No, but the lady was really nice.
The genuineness of understanding that person's humanity and character, you're like, good person.
Got it. Yeah, got it. But yeah, even though they won't really talk to me or email me back, but great. I'm like, what gets me is like, it's not even that it's happening. It's like, am I missing something? Like, did I clearly I saw something or noticed something that a lot of people didn't notice, or you, same thing with you, or like, but the thing is like, we know this, we've talked about this. A lot of people have seen some of these things. They're just like, right over their head or whatever, or they just don't like realize, or they just have that bias, or they just are holding on to something. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what it is. I don't really care that much because we can't change masses of people's minds apparently the U.S. government can. But it boggles my mind that we just like keep following the line regardless of like how many lies have been like fed to us, and we know it. Right. Yeah. It's like people right now, like if you're an environmentalist and you go and buy a Volkswagen right now, and you're like, Green Earth, let me go buy a Volkswagen. And they like, and
their emission standard isn't what you want.
Yeah,
if you care.
But it's a cute car. But they're going electric. But yeah, I'm like, you know how they like totally lied to the entire Earth and like polluted like the whole Earth times like 10 to what they said they were doing, right? But they're going electric. Mm-hmm. It's like this is the same thing what's happening right now. Like it's like you've been touted so much bullshit, and you're like, but they're Democrats now, and never Trump, right?
Yeah. Well, we all are hypocrites in our own lives in 1,000 different ways.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to pinpoint. It's easier to pinpoint other people's hypocrisy than your own.
For sure.
Or it's harder to recognize your own.
For sure.
Or at least willing to admit it.
Right. That's true.
But with some of these things, it just gets so out of hand where it's like, dude, we have to like when are we ever going to get over this bullshit?
Yeah. And like it's kind of funny. I'm kind of combining these two stories about the fucking crackheads and this. I feel like at the end of the day, you kind of got to look out for yourself, because we're asking the government and the police or whatever the case to look out for us, and sometimes, when it really comes down to it,
they just don't have your back.
They don't have your back, dude. And that's not even coming from any political side. I mean, let's just come with let's be for real. You know what I mean? Because the reality is, if they really cared about your deaths, first of all, life insurance, either government would have covered life insurance, or it would have been mandatory like car insurance is, number one, or some type of fund program where you get to at least be buried, for goodness sake, or health insurance or something, or all this stuff, like the government, and I get just the size and this and that, want certain things, but I'm just like, dude, how are we gonna focus on this and really like ask them to protect us?
Well, what this is proving is the mandates that we're allowing to happen through this stuff, mm-hmm. and the closures and the openings and all the things is just a test to prove what we are able to allow. So I do think a lot of individuals that just appreciate mandates are hoping that a mandate falls on the line that they desire. Right,
because wait till it falls on.
Like in any level of like being a danger or like anything. I don't know exactly what it comes to. Yeah. But I think that we're gonna see this mandate slide even more political. Well, dude, at some point. I don't know what side's actually gonna take it over. Mm. But I could see it becoming more and more of an issue where it's like,
well, dude, I mean 9/11 happened, right? And we're like, well, that whole whole law that just passed, like, well, they got to look in your emails, you got to look in your phone, you got to look at that. Everyone goes, well, it's okay. I'm not hiding anything. It's okay. They can look through my phone. And everyone just for years was like, ah. And I'm like yelling at everyone, like, no, you need to care. You need to protect what's on your shit. It's your privacy. What if your government was like looking inside of your house 100% of the time? That's what's in your phone. Like, okay. So now we're getting to the point where we're like, mandate, we're going to protect the people. It's to protect the unvaccinated. The unvaccinated cause of it. And they're like, okay. Well, like, guys, like, I get what you're saying, but mandate's not a good thing because this is a very slippery slope.
Because, like if I said that the government would mandate putting a webcam in your living room.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
It sounds crazy.
But do we realize that there's a mandate that they get to put something in your body, and we're not uncomfortable with that?
And you can't sue if it goes
does it not feel more invasive that a webcam would be in your living room?
Right.
I think everybody would agree on the surface, yes. But if you, in the actuality of it, forcing something in your body, sometimes that's called a little R word.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you don't want it,
yeah,
and you have to get it,
yeah.
That's why I say if the government's gonna make me get the COVID vaccine,
yeah,
make it into a pill, which they finally approved, and put it in my ass.
Yeah. You're asking the government to put it in your ass. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not gonna like.
At least then we can be honest about what happened.
Yeah. Because at least the government had to shove it in there, like they usually like. Yeah. So it's just like it's like.
I might be the first one.
Yeah, like you have to feel shoved up your asshole. You know what I mean? So I just like I just struggle. You know what I mean with this because it's like mandates are just not it. But yeah, like we would struggle saying like, oh, webcam is invasive, but like the government's gonna be like, it's because of crime. We just want to solve crime, and then
and it's not in your bedroom.
It's not in your.
Stop thinking it's not in your bedroom.
No.
It's just in your living room. It's right by your front door, just to make sure that you leave when we say you can.
Yeah. And then
it's for the bad people.
Yeah, for the bad people. And then a year later, there's still a bunch of people getting killed in their apartments. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put another camera in your bedroom to look out for you because more people are getting killed in their bedrooms. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And we don't need to avoid illegal activities, people doing drugs or doing type of thing. Oh, camera in the bedroom, in the kitchen. A year later, kitchen. Another. 5 years later, there's people still getting caught and getting caught, drama, getting killed.
Time to put that camera up your ass.
Time to put the camera up here. It's time to get another shot with the actual robot in it because now we need to track you. Oh my God, what have we come to? Like the thing is, it's like this is like almost parody. This is almost comical. You know what I mean? Like it's like this sounds like literally like Grand Theft Auto 5 radio. Like you know what I'm saying? Like those parody radios.
Oh, that's the channel you turn off.
In real life. No, but this sounds like the talk show radio. Like this is happening. Like, you know how they're like, we should make cocaine legal. And it's like funny. You're like, oh, that's funny. Like this is like.
Haha, Grand Theft Auto.
Haha, yeah. You're like, now we're going to stick an injection up your ass. Regardless of what happens, regardless of what we think, and you can't sue. This is parody. And we're really living it. Like, I'm not, like, I'm awake. Like, I drink a coffee right now. Like, I'm fully awake. But, whatever. A blue pill, red pill, I don't know. I don't. Oh, what else we got? You got more stories? Or am I too tired?
I think we're good.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
This has been Smart and Mild,
Smart and
live from LA. We're
and
out here. We appreciate you all. We will see you back soon.
Yeah.
God bless, and we out.
Love, peace, and chickers, and get a gun.